Well, hello my fellow car modelers. Thanks for clicking on the video today. So what we're going to cover is the chrome trim around your windshield. And the most common product used over the years has been bare metal foil. And some of you had great success with it, and some might have some problems with it, and we're going to go over that today. But there's another product that has come on the scene over the past year that's kind of taken the hobby by storm. And that new product is Molotow liquid chrome pens. Everybody's been talking about it. We're going to try it out and let's see what happens. I've never used this stuff. I just got it. So we're going to try it out together and let's see if it's as successful as I've heard. We'll either triumph or fail together. Let's give it a try. Maybe this is like the end all be all. Everybody seems to love it, and well, let's see if we love it. We should get some really good success with this, so let's check it out. So we're going to do the front windshield molding with bare metal foil. And I just got this model body from my model car junkyard. It's an old model I built 20 some odd years ago, but this will do the trick for us. So the first thing that we're going to do is you want to make sure that you have a fresh X-Acto blade. It just makes it a lot easier. I'm going to start with just doing up here on the top, and then we'll do separate pieces for down on the A-pillars. I like to cut a large section, way more than I need, only because you want it to have a lot of overlap so you have a lot to work with. Don't worry about being conservative with your material. It's not worth it. It's better to have too much on there than not enough. So it's usually a little tricky to get this. And one thing I also suggest, as time goes on with this bare metal foil, it tends to degrade and crack. And this is pretty old, and I'm worried I'm probably not going to get this all in one strip. I hope I can. So let's give it a shot. And you can see it's already breaking. Bare metal foil is really tough like that as it gets old. So I usually never end up getting to use a full sheet. I usually get some new all the time before I use up my old, because it gets so cracked up and decomposes. So it broke up on me a bit, so I got as much as I could off of there. I like to overlap, go way past where my end point is. And you notice I went past into the windshield opening, way up onto the roof, way past where I want it to end. It's just easier to cut off a lot more material than if you just get just enough to cover your molding. It's just easier to get it to fit better. You can go a couple of ways at this point. I like to use a clean cotton t-shirt and put it in around my finger like that, and you'll see I use like my fingernail to get into the lines of the molding, get it all in there real good. You can use cotton swab or Q-tip. This is my preferred way. Just I feel like I have better control. So this is the trick to the bare metal foil. Once you get it laid down, even when it's old and kind of decomposed like this, cracked, you can get it to look really smooth. And it's all in the burnishing, and I like to really get in there and just rub the area that I'm going to be keeping on the body, because, and again, I get in there with my fingernail and I kind of run into the groove, get it into the groove, because you're going to need that to follow when you start cutting. Get that all really burnished really, really good. That's what gets your wrinkles out, and it gets kind of the chrome polished up a bit. Here's what I do in the corners here, because I'm going to be keeping this overlapped area on the car. I'm not cutting away from it. I just slice in the corner here and here, because what I like to do is fold this up around under there and keep it inside the car body. It helps hold the bare metal foil in place. And you can always go back and detail paint under here your interior color, or you can trim it, make it look a little nicer. But I like to have a bit of an overlap, at least as much as you have right here. It holds it in place a lot better that way. And again, come here, you want to burnish this edge area, make it all smooth. Here's where it takes a steady hand, but this is where it's really nice. The better groove you have to follow, a lot easier it is to cut. And so I'll get in here, I'll start on this side and just trim this area first, then kind of follow the line of the molding, and you want to try to make it as much of a continuous run down the top of the molding as best you can. It's just better to have a continuous cut. If you kind of stop and go, you might get some jagged edges there. We got that cut, and now for the reveal, you pull the excess off. Bing! We got ourselves some bare metal foil molding. And you go back and burnish it a little bit better. And there you go. Looks pretty good. Now here I'm going to show you something that I kind of like about bare metal foils. Again, I'm trying to peel it off, and because this is a little bit old, you won't have this problem when your bare metal foil is fresh, like I said before. So I can only get it off in a couple chunks, but that's okay. Sometimes you have to do it in pieces. So I got 2 pieces here. I lay them a bit overlapping. It's really okay to overlap the bare metal foil, and you'll see why. This stuff is really, really forgiving. You want to go, when you're laying a new piece down, you want to go a little bit over the existing bare metal foil that you had. The one thing that I find with bare metal foil is when you burnish it out really good, those lines disappear. I'm going to take that, wrap it around like that. Going to go ahead and do the trimming and taking off the extra. We burnish it out, and we got ourselves our molding. Now, something else I will do with bare metal foil is I usually like to put it on before I do my clear coat for 2 reasons. One, when you get the clear coat down, lots of times your lines here for your molding on the car body will get really filled in, and you won't have as defined of a line to follow with your X-Acto blade. And second, like I do with my decals, I like to have my decals under my clear. That's the way I feel about bare metal foil. It's a decal, and you want it to be sealed under the clear for protection. It won't peel up after that, and it doesn't change the look at all. The clear does not affect your bare metal foil at all. Now for the rear, we're going to try out the Molotow liquid chrome. Again, I've never used it, so we're doing this together, so let's see if we pass or fail. I'm going to go back to what I was saying and what I do with the bare metal foil as far as clearing over it. I'm going to do the opposite with the liquid chrome, because honestly I don't know if clear will affect the chrome. It quite possibly dull it out and turn it into just looking like silver, and it really doesn't need to be sealed into the body. So I will do this step after clearing. I am using the 2mm, which is the middle of the road size. You can try doing it by hand, but the problem about trying to do this all by hand, you really got to have a steady hand to get it all nice and smooth and not go up onto the body and be all, very wiggly and not a nice straight pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask this all off. The masking tape I'm going to use is some Fi-Line tape. I get this from the automotive paint supply store. There's a few different ones, 3M. You can also find the same type of tape at your hobby shop. Tamiya sells it. It's the, I'm not quite sure what exactly they call it, but it's basically a fine line masking tape. I like using this better than masking tape because masking tape is, the masking tape has the rough wrinkle like that, and to get a nice smooth edge is really tough without any bleed through. This stuff will prevent that from happening. I'm going to do this just like I do the bare metal foil. I want to go a little bit over my edge area, and then you want to get in there, get into the crease really well. And what's cool about this tape is you can see the color change as it really adheres to the surface. So you can see that it gets on there really, really well that way. And why I wanted to go past, I didn't want to try to follow the line that I want to make. I want to trim with my X-Acto knife the line that I want, where I don't want the paint to get onto the body. And doing this, again, you want to have a nice sharp blade. There we go. Alright, so we got it trimmed, and the part we want to take off and expose is the glass molding. So we peel this up. We got ourselves nice. You want to get in there and make sure that that masking tape is in there good. Now if you want to play it safe, this is where you can take your regular masking tape and kind of slightly overlap it over your fine line masking tape, but you don't want to go all the way down to the molding. This will just give you a little added protection in case you slip and you don't get it onto your body. Now we'll take our Molotow Chrome Paint and let's just follow along. Let's see how successful I was. Again, this is my first time doing this, so this could be an absolute disaster. So we let the paint dry a bit. I'll peel this masking tape off. So let's see how this works. This could be an absolute disaster because it's my first time too. I'm just experimenting. But look what we got. Wow, that looks pretty good. What do you think? So, with the proper masking, you get a nice clean line with that masking. I would say that looks just as good as the bare metal foil. I'm pretty impressed with that chrome paint. That is very chrome. One thing I would do a little different is I would definitely use the fine line tape, but I would try to find thicker just so I have a little more meat to work with and cut off. So I was a little quick on this. I could do a little bit better taping, but you can see how this tape just doesn't allow that flow through like regular masking tape does, where you have a lot of problem with paint flowing past your masked area onto your other painted surfaces. Again, in doing this process after the clearing, if you do have a little bit of a mistake there, depending on the type of clear you use, it's pretty easy to clean off. Whether you can buff it off, if you have enough clear, you can do a little sanding and buffing, or in my case, I like to use automotive polyurethanes, and the best thing to clean off paint off of a polyurethane clear is lacquer thinner. It does not affect polyurethane automotive clear when it has fully cured. That is my take on bare metal foil and the new Molotow, or it's been around for a while, but it's really taken over the past year our hobby by storm, and I'm sold. I will definitely use it. I like it. I'm going to try cracking one of these pens open and airbrushing it too. I had a friend of mine a little while ago do some wheels with it, and these wheels look chrome plated. It was incredible. With that said, I'm done with this little session. I hope we all learned something. I know I did. So I want to thank you guys for clicking on the video today, and I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something along with me. We got a ton more content on the way. I know I haven't gotten those videos out every week. I'm trying my best, just been working a lot, and of course I ended up getting that flu, so that took some time out, but we're all over that, and I'm going to try to keep consistent with these, but I want to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear your ideas, so keep them coming to me, and we're getting more subscribers. Spread the word. We want to grow this channel and make it better, and so keep on gluing that styrene together and keep on having fun with it. So this is me, Lucas E. Punch that like button and subscribe. Put some comments down below. I'd love to hear from you, and we'll see you next time on Model Car Hobby Headquarters. Molotow, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It is Molotow. Let's say that. Let's go with that. Molotow. If anybody knows how to pronounce this thing, I've looked all over the internet. Nobody seems to really know. But I'm going to go with Molotow. The Molotow Chrome Paint. And that new product is that Molotow or It's Molotow. And I've been... It's Molotow Chrome pens. Liquid Chrome. And that new product... is Molotow Chrome Liquid... Blah.